Hi guys, welcome back to the workshop. We are starting work on the miniatures from the Mutant Year Zero Zone Wars skirmish game. And I have chosen two miniatures from the Lab Tech? Yes, the Lab Tech side. So I have chosen the Mighty Moose and the Duck, the one that was just giving me straight up Howard the Duck vibes. So we are just gonna start after it, and we are going to start with the moose. I think. And for this one, I want him to have a lot of browns. I mean, moose are brown, but he's got like a leather jacket kind of thing going on here. So I think I'm gonna want that brown. Of course, he's got a bat, or at least a roughly hewn bat that's probably made out of a large stick. He's got lots of cool stuff. We're gonna kind of see what we can do here. And there's, wraps and stuff on his legs, and there's all kinds of neat things. So I think we're gonna start there. We'll leave the duck for another day, or get him started a little bit later on. But for now, let's start with the moose. And the moose, we are going to start with we're going to give him kind of a faded leather jacket. Going to use my Mornfang Brown. To start off with. And for that, we are going to use my regiment brush, which this is not. This, however, is. We're going to use this one. Take some Mornfang Brown. Water to help it flow. And now we are just going to have at it. Now, as I kind of said in the unboxing of this video here, these guys are a single cast or single piece miniature, so there's no assembly and putting them together. They already come in the starter set anyway. They come pre-washed or pre-colored, and two different colors for two different factions. These guys here, which are the Lab Tech Mutants, they are in kind of a green color. And then the other ones, which are they're human mutants. So they're very, they are human, but they have mutant traits. And those were kind of washed in a sort of a yellow color. I'm kind of liking the way some of these miniatures are coming for these games. They got good detail, good high detail. And if you want to paint them, go right ahead and paint them. But they look just as they look just as good if that's not unpainted or what have you. If that's not your ilk, or if you don't have friends that can paint for you. That's okay. So again, we're just kind of blocking in kind of the brown leather of the jacket. Kind of going over everything just to make it all nice and smooth, and making sure that I'm not necessarily missing any spots. There we are. So at least now we're off to a run. And we have a start on our moose. Okay. So we're kind of letting that kind of dry. Oh, excuse me very much. I apologize. We are going to take a look at some of the other parts of the moose and see what we got here. We are going to take some of my fantastic non-white white or ghost gray from Vallejo Paints. And using Vallejo paints, we're going to use the Vallejo brush, the zero, size 0. And it looks like he has a shirt of some kind. We're just going to make it a white shirt. Okay, we're going to kind of leave that for a moment. All right, what do you think we should? Kind of a tall. Let's see. What have we got for a good moose color? Oh, I think that's a good one. Anybody will make it nice. Okay. to undercoat all the fur, we're going to take a little bit of Thronda Brown. We're going to start painting in all the brown fur. And if we're a little messy with it, that's all right. We'll go back and tidy it up later. He does have a knee pad and wrappings on this leg, so we'll have to be a little cautious of them. But again, you get paint on the wrappings or on the knee pad, well, it's okay, because they're not going to be this color. They're not going to be the fur color. We have to do, it's just, you know. Actually, right now, I'm not worrying about the strap that goes around. Don't worry about the strap that goes around the leg right at the moment. We are going to just try and get the brown down. On the moose. Oh, we're coming along quite nice, I think. He's looking pretty darn good. We're going to worry about the pouches and the wrappings and everything later. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to just continue on working with the fur. But now we're going to go to highlight color called Gorthor Brown. And for that, we are going to use a dry brush. Now let me see what I got for dry brushes. I should have some good ones. There we are. Army Painters. Small drop brush. Wipe most of it off, because that's just how a dry brush do. And what it's going to do is it's going to help pick out what it is doing is helping pick out the details of the fur. Which is good. Because, moose aren't flat brown. They've got multiple shades within their fur. So this is what we're trying to replicate. By doing this. And if you can, always start light and build up, because it's easier to put more on than it is to take stuff off. There we are. Then we're going to go to the final highlight, at least for the fur. See if I have an even smaller dry brush, or at least a different one. For the next highlight, because the next highlight I want to be quite light. And for this one, I'm going to take a color called Baneblade Brown. We're just going to kind of fleck it. Yeah. For the most part, that's pretty much going to be the fur. We're not going to spend a lot of extra time on it. Just wanted a little bit of difference on it. Okay. Now, we are going to use a slightly different color for the bat. The bat, we're going to use Dryad Bark. The other one that we used was Thronda Brown. You can kind of see there's not a lot of difference, but this one's just a little bit darker, and that's the Dryad Bark. But it will dry different than the Thronda. What we're going to do is we're going to use that for his big baseball bat piece of wood thing. And we're just kind of working the way around the bat. There we are. We are doing pretty darn okay, I think. And actually, we're going to use the same highlighting colors. But I want something with a little bit more precision for my dry brush. I'm going to use a very small dry brush. Again, it just kind of helps bring out the details. The paint blade is the end of the piece here is going to get a little bit of the heavier dry brush to make it kind of look like it's a broken piece. Not like you just broke off a big old twig or, part of a tree. As moose could probably do. I don't want very much. Like I said, I kind of want more on the end of the bat to make it look like it's a snapped off piece of wood. And if I decide that I want to go a little bit more with it, another good one to use after that is is a color called Xandri Dust, which we'll be using next for other stuff. No, actually, I don't like that one. We still need that for other things. There's the color I'm looking for. It's called Karak Stone. Again, I just want a little bit of it. There. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now the Xandri Dust, I did say that we did need that color, and we do. Because that's what our wrappings are going to be done in. And for that, I want make it look bigger. I can be relatively neat with it. So basically, all along this part of the bat, all the way around. Now for part of it, it's going to be a little hard to get into, but do my best. And if it just can't get there, you just can't get there. There you go. Again, it gets messy or you get a little out of the lines. It's okay. Go back and tidy up. Which made the mistake. And then there's a big wrap, big bandaged thing on his leg. I'm going to give that the same color. Now this one you'll want to be a little bit more careful with how you're painting it, because some of the fur does come down over top of the bandage. You'll just have to take it a little easy, take it a little slow. Now as you work on these wrappings. But again, if you mess up, that's okay, because all you have to do is just go back over with the previous colors. Try and get some of that extra wrapping. That's a little difficult to get at. Alright, now I'm going over the hands and getting some on the shorts. I'm okay with that, because I'll be fixing those up and repainting them a different color. Anyway. But you know, don't worry too much if you just don't feel confident or you don't think you can get to those other parts. It's okay. Huh. You know, sometimes using this thing really really helps show the difference in some of the details that of what I thought they were as opposed to what they actually are. Like, I thought there was for some reason, I thought this was a belt of some kind. No, turns out it's his shirt. Kind of followed the line from the front of the shirt to here and realized what it was. And now that the shirt up front, the front part of the shirt is dry, I can put a second coat of the gray there. Now, and then the last thing we're going to do before we leave each other for the day, we are going to give the leather and the wrapping a wash. And we can let that dry until next time. So we're going to take our handy dandy Agrax Airshade, because I use it on everything. Plus it'll help us kind of achieve that more leather look.